So you woke up this morning with a plan. I mean, we all wake up feeling like we have a plan for the day. You have a list. Maybe it was written out the night before. Maybe it was already living in your head before, even even woke up, right? Either way, you knew what you needed to get done today. And then the day happened because again, that's life, that's entrepreneurship, everything. And now it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you've been busy and somehow the thing that actually mattered most today still isn't done. And that feeling right there, that's what we're talking about today. Because here's the thing, the problem isn't that you didn't work hard enough. The problem is your to-do list has been lying to you. And most of us never stop long enough to question it. So we're talking about why the traditional to-do list actually works against you and what to do instead so that your days feel less frantic and more intentional.
So today we're going to be covering 3 things why your to-do list is structured in a way that sets you up to already feeling behind. And for anyone that's watching and not just listening, I held up my to-do list that I was laughing with Sarah before we hit record that I still had things to do, and obviously they were not crossed out. Number 2, how to start organizing your work and around energy and impact instead of volume. And lastly, 1 simple shift you can make this week that will change how your day actually feels. And these are things that I've actually implemented a couple of times. And so I know that they work when they are followed.
Yes, exactly. When they are followed.
That's the important word right there, or phrase, when they are followed. Before we get into it, though, we do want to let you know we're doing an entrepreneur spotlight swaps on our newsletter. And this is going to be a collaboration where we kind of come together. If you're interested in a highlight swap where we talk about you and then you share us with your audience, the form is going to be linked in the show notes. So take a look, reach out if you have any questions, but we are super excited to collaborate with you. So let's dive into today's topic. And let's start with the lie your to-do list is telling you. What we mean when we say your to-do list is lying to you, the way most of us build our to-do list is almost like a brain dump of everything we need to accomplish in one place. There's no like hierarchy or anything like that. It's reply to this email, finish this proposal, schedule social media, call back client A, B, or C, pick up something for dinner, fold the laundry that's behind you. It's all there together, living in this same list. And while the list looks manageable, most of the time it isn't. And that's where the lie comes into play. When everything on the list looks equal, your brain treats it like it's equal. So what do we do instead? We go for the easy ones first, because I love being able to scratch something physically off of my list.
Yes.
It just is such a dopamine hit. We knock off that quick stuff because it feels productive. We check those boxes, and checking those boxes feels so good in the moment and feels like we have the momentum and energy to keep it moving. But sometimes, typically, by the end of the day, you've checked 15 things off your list, and the one thing that would have actually moved your business forward, that proposal, that pitch, that follow-up, that's still sitting there at the end of the day. And because it was heavy and everything else felt lighter and more urgent, that's where the lie, like the tasks aren't real and they're not equal. So your to-do list isn't telling you exactly what you need to do and when you do it. It's just a bunch of things that you took out of your head and put on paper. And so this is something that we think about with our clients a lot, actually. There's always a gap between what feels urgent and what is actually important. And those two things are almost always never the same thing.
Here's a reframe we want you to sit with before we go any further. A long to-do list is not a sign that you're productive. It's a sign that you have not made any decisions yet. Every item on that list represents a decision you're deferring. When will I do this? How long will it take? Does it even need to happen? The list isn't a productivity tool. It's It's you holding a pen. You're writing everything down because you want to check off those boxes. We feel like writing something down means we've handled it in some way. Like it's off your mind, like Dana was saying, and you're brain dumping everything on the list. But really, we've just moved the decision. And every time you look at that list and you feel overwhelmed, that's not a focus problem. That's a decision making problem.
So if the to-do list is the problem, then what is the alternative for us? The shift is moving from organizing your day by tasks to organizing your day by your energy and your impact. And these are two different filters that kind of work together. Energy first, because there are days where we have, like today, I have a lot of energy. Leading up to today, I had like a stress headache. Earlier in the week, I was on the left side, and then medicine kind of helped, and then it somehow shifted to the other side. Like it wasn't my whole head, it was just like half and half. So you have like start with energy. I did not have a lot of energy, but I knew certain things had to get done. So by the end of the day, I still felt like I was making progress, but I listened to my body and did not try to cram 15 things into my to-do list. So we all have times during the day or during the week and seasons where we're sharper, more creative, more focused. For some people, that's the first thing, that's the first time in the morning. I am a morning person. For others, it doesn't kick in until about mid-morning or maybe even later in the afternoon. Maybe you're a night owl. Most of us already have an idea of our energy patterns. We just don't design our days around them because it's not talked about a lot. I, like I said, am absolutely a morning person. By the afternoon, if it hasn't gotten done, I'm probably not going to do it. So I already know for myself, deep work, deep client focus, deep projects for inside my business, like building workflows and automations, they have to get done before noon. Or it's not happening in the same way, or I'll go back to it on another day and be like, what was I thinking when I put this together? And I've done that with pin copy. I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. So then I have to start almost all over. And so that's really a self-awareness that most entrepreneurs don't actually act on. We try to avoid the 9 to 5, but if you have morning energy, then yes, you need to fit that schedule in, fit your most demanding work in the correct window, because that's when, if you have a meeting booked during your deep work, or you checking your inbox, your email during deep work, that context switching is going to be very difficult and it's going to slow you down energetically. So the first question becomes, when am I most capable of doing my hardest, most important work, whether that's in your business or for your clients? And then the second filter following that is impact. Not all tasks will move your business forward equally. This is a hard, lifelong lesson that we have learned again and again as we've each made shifts in our business, even on this podcast. Some tasks are high impact. They'll directly generate revenue, build relationships, or create something that really matters in your community and your network. And some tasks are more maintenance. They're necessary. They keep the lights running, like they're going, but they're not growth driven. But both do have to happen. But they shouldn't compete for the same time and attention. So high impact work belongs in your peak energy window. Again, for me, it's in the morning. Maintenance tasks, emails, admin, scheduling, those live in my lower energy windows, where it doesn't matter if I have kids running around here, there, and everywhere, because it's maintenance. It's something that I can do. I don't have to give it a whole bunch of focus. And this does sound simple when you say it out loud, but it does require you to, one, be disciplined enough to stick to the schedule. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs just haven't gotten clear on that yet. And that's the real work, is start by asking, what is the one thing that I can do today that would make everything else feel more manageable and more worthwhile? And I will throw out there that sometimes even I still struggle with this, and I will put my entire to-do list inside ChatGPT or Claude and say, help me prioritize these things. I'll tell it what I have later on the week where I won't have enough time to play catch up. Like tomorrow, my daughter has an award ceremony for the end of the year. And I was like, this is non-negotiable. I have to be there. So I need to get more client work done today. Here's everything that I need to do. And it helped me prioritize because it's 2 or 3 different clients. So it all feels important, but some things I can get done quicker. And so it helped me do that.
Yeah, I definitely, resonate with that too, because obviously I have a part-time job, so my tasks have a different time now than they used to. So I have to figure out what needs to come first today versus what can I actually do, let's say on a Saturday. And yes, sometimes I work on a Saturday because I actually enjoy what I do, so I do that. I mean, you don't have to do that. That is entirely up to you. So we said there's one specific shift people can make this week. So what is that? This is the MIT, the most important task. Before you open your list, before you check your email, before you do anything else in the morning, you name one task, just one. That task, if it's the only thing that you complete today, the day still counts as success. And I know that using that example as working a part-time job, and I know that I need to get client work done this week. That's my most important task for that day, is to do client work, and then everything else follows after that. There's 2 criteria that this should meet. It has to be specific, not, oh, I'm going to work on my website, but write the about page copy. So that's specific. That's the one task, one example that you can do that is going to move the needle in your business, not something you're doing just to feel productive. And here is why this works. When you name it first, before all the noise starts to happen throughout the day, you are making a decision from a clear place. You're not reacting, you're choosing. And you know that's one task you definitely have to do today. And we think there's something really important about doing that before you check anything else. Because once you open your email, once you check your DMs on Instagram, someone else's priorities are suddenly competing with yours. Your mornings are some of the most valuable, times in your business. And most of us hand them over immediately because we're doing all the things that we're not really needing to do. So the practice is, wake up, name your most important task for the day, protect that time to do it, and let everything else organize around that task. And to be honest, some days that most important task still won't get done. Life happens. Dana and I, we have kids, we have a family. It's like life happens. I have a part-time job. There's so many aspects of your life that are going to happen. So don't beat yourself up over it. I know I used to. I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't get this done. Like, I'm going to fail. It's not, no, we got to protect our energy and our time. And that's the difference from getting to 6 p.m. of the day and having no idea where the day went.
I feel like so many people can relate to that one part. Like, what did I actually get done? How am I doing this? I think that's why I like this conversation so much, because it is one of those things that sounds like a small shift. And if you write it down, yes, it is technically a small shift, but it can actually change your whole relationship with your workday. The time blocking works because you're blocking things around your energy levels. You're not just like you're setting that focus, but it's because you know when you are able to do your deep work versus your maintenance work, So the goal isn't to become more productive in that traditional sense. It's to feel like your effort is actually going somewhere, like you're building something and not just spinning. And I feel like this conversation is even more important to be happening right now at the time of this recording, because I know for myself and probably for Sarah, I don't know when your school gets out, but our school gets out. Our last day of school is next Wednesday. So I am already focused on, or like creating what is my most important task that I have to get done every single day to continue to grow my business and build that momentum so that when school goes back in quarter 3, quarter 3, I'm already too far ahead. that I won't feel like I'm starting from scratch. Like I need to have calls and workshops and things built up already in the books, but I cannot do them during the summer. So how can I'm already figuring out what those are and like matching my energy. My kids are not morning people, so they typically sleep in. So that is my time to really hone in, and we're already prioritizing that. So that if you're feeling like traction or anything, that's just what keeps you in the game long term. So here's what I want you to take away from today. Your to-do list is not broken, but it's not designed to help you prioritize, especially if you're in this season of life of school break. That's your job to figure out how to prioritize it based on your energy level. And the moment you start making intentional decisions about what matters most and when you'll do it, everything is going to shift for you in the best way. So tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, name your one most important task. Write it down, protect that time, and see how the day feels different at the end of the day. And then do it again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. We would really love to hear how that goes for you. So come find us on LinkedIn and tell us inside of our group, what was your most important task? And then what did you protect? Don't forget to check out the Spotlight Swap linked in the show notes. And we cannot wait to collaborate with you. Until next time.
You can now follow us on LinkedIn at Entrepreneur Encounter.
Thanks for spending time with us today. If something in this episode gave you a fresh perspective, share it with a friend or send us a DM. We love hearing how these conversations land with you.
And if you're curious about how soft skills can support your next season of growth, we each have more resources to share.